Hey you, it's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
For entertainment purposes only. Okay? Entertainment purposes only. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Clark Payne with The Secrets Within. What I hold here in my hand will change everything. Everything. This lady was born beyond the ice walls. Her dad was a navigator named William Morris, who actually went through the ice wall, and the first lands that they came across was called the Ancestral Republic. That's where she was born at. Okay? I can't wait to share this. This is going to be like a 50-part series. I mean, look at all those worlds, man, everywhere. Just look around, zoom in on it, whatever you got to do. This is the key to everything. You got to have an open mind. You got to understand these things. I used to be a non-believer in this. Anytime I ever heard somebody talking about, oh, the earth is flat, I was like, they've got to be the stupidest person ever. What are you going to do? Fall off? No. When I started actually watching it and paying attention, I was like, wait a minute. I guess I was the one that was clueless, you know. Uh, just buckle up.
All right, so there's this book called Terra Infinita, and that's where this map comes from. And in this map, it's instead of just being like our little flat Earth with our little one dome, it's huge. It's massive. There's Anunnaki lands. There's all of our little planets. There's all kinds of other planets going on in there, stuff we've never even heard of. Okay, and I guess they all have their individual little domes. I'm not 100% certain on that. Don't quote me. And this is where the aliens come from. They travel from one land into ours. They don't fly here in their spacecraft from far, far away planets. We're all one big flat thing with all these lands going on. And that's what this map represents. This book sounds fantastic. I believe there's actually a trilogy. But as a globe propagandist myself, I'm sure it's a wonderful work of science fiction.
Many people around the world believe that the temples of India were built using lost technology, or even possibly by a lost race of people. There are some rather unexplainable things in these temples that modern-day science and archaeology doesn't really account for, such as these lathe-turned pillars. Every one of them is mathematically perfect. How did they do this? And this isn't the only thing in these temples that we can question. I mean, the carvings alone are just unreal, but if you look, every single square inch of this, everything is just carved. There's these cut rock temples where they just dug right into the rock, and they made these temples sometimes straight down into the rock. But how did they build these places with the tools and the technology that we've been told that they had? Because it doesn't look very primitive. In fact, it looks very advanced, almost more so than what we could probably do in the modern day. And it should make everyone question the true history of man. I mean, how do you make a chain out of stone? Out of one single block of stone, how do you carve a chain? These were beyond advanced people. And you can see that in every little detail.
I'm finding an overwhelming amount of proof in these digs and these archaeological findings that points to the fact that there had to have been previous advanced civilizations. It's difficult to think otherwise given the information that we're given about these civilizations and their time and their capabilities. And I find it oddly irresponsible to believe that we are that damn special, that there is no possible way any other civilizations could have happened on our planet but our own.
Races from coming into our solar system, grabbing our people and leaving. We could now stop them. So, Solar Warden was developed and began to do its job of policing the solar system. At the same time, we had the Interplanetary Corporate Conglomerate, which is made up of all of these military-industrial complex corporations. We have all of these other programs that are developing technology at the same time and are developing much, much more advanced technologies. So advanced, in fact, that there are ET races that come here to trade for our technology.
Corey Good is the one insider I found whose testimony ties all of these different threads together.
Now, I have the memory of a goldfish, but I do recall talking about a president signing a deal with aliens that they could take X amount of people per year, right? And then we went in and we looked at how many people went missing every year, and it kind of lined up, right? And so is that what they're trading for? Do they give technology and they're like, all right, we're going to take our people. This is how many people we're going to take today. I don't know. I just think that's interesting. So there's like some space like protection agency now. Is that why Trump decided he had to make Space Force? Are we like kind of making it real? We're going to go, oh, hey, by the way, this is happening. And everybody's like, yeah, we know for forever because, you know, we're not dumb. You've been feeding us this information for years. Did I just go off on a tangent? I think I kind of went off a little bit. Sorry about that.
I designed U.S. Navy spacecraft carriers. So I went to work then at Douglas, and I'm a draftsman for 2 weeks. And my chief, section chief, started through my background. And of course, it says all of this stuff that I had done in the Navy. So he puts me in this think tank. And there's where we get to the first think tank, okay? It's inside of Douglas in a walled-off area. And there's 200 guys in it. And we investigate every aspect of extraterrestrial, military, commercial, whatever. And I was assigned to design for the Navy about 16, 18 different classes of U.S. Navy battle group ships, which didn't exist. And these were, the larger ones were from 1 kilometer to 6 kilometer. These ships fly in space. They're spacecraft carriers, which finally got built back in the late 70s up in Utah underneath the ground. And you've seen the pictures of U.S. Navy spaceships, Solar Warden. So Solar Warden came out of a think tank inside of engineering at Douglas. And a whole lot of other stuff came out.
How cool is that, y'all? That is so cool. The Solar Warden there he's talking about. And that's part of our United States Naval Space Fleet. How freaking cool is that? These gigantic ships we've had since the 70s, just out there doing search and intercept missions and stuff like that. That's freaking rad. So maybe these people aren't actually disappearing. They're like joining the space fleet before it's actually a space fleet since the 70s. That'd be one of those things that I would be so excited if it was true. That sounds super awesome. And I dig it. I dig it.
What is hidden inside a King Charles portrait? Let's look at it in this video. The portrait was just unveiled. Listen to what people are saying in London.
Looks like on the heart, though. It's horrible. Does it make you feel anything? It's a bit
Man, it's pretty red. Looks kind of like a massacre or something here.
People are mirroring the image and seeing a Baphomet head. Do you see it?
Floating head.
So he unveiled this official portrait, and there's some clues hidden within the portrait. One of them being a butterfly. Now, there are many different meanings to the butterfly, but he said that he wanted to be remembered by school kids in 200 years by a butterfly landing on his shoulder. But take a look at this. Could it be another form? Just take a look yourself. But during the conversation with the artist, this was the detail that he wanted. He wanted a butterfly on his shoulder. But what do you see in this mirrored image of the picture? Could it have been a mistake? Was it on purpose? Nonetheless, we must question everything. What do you think? Comment below.
I think y'all have way too much time on your hands. I think it's a beautiful portrait. And I think that they're trying to find something in it. They just absolutely cannot just let it be this artist's rendition of the king. It's not a terrible painting. I understand, it's unusual. And I think that's why I think it's so beautiful, because it's irregular. And I like that. And everybody's digging a little too hard. This next one I want to show you, it's a testament to how people dig so hard, because you're not finding this in the image. You're cutting and cropping and making it appear on your own. Just check it out.
Prize. After unveiling the new portrait of King Charles, I discovered something very strange and shocking to make sure this was real before I actually posted it on my TikTok. This is what I got, so I turned the image upside down, flipped it, and put it together, and you can clearly see. The Baphomet figure, or the goat head, and the horns in the middle when you mirror these two portraits together, and it's funny that they used red because red symbolizes low states of consciousness. It's the lowest vibrational color symbolizes emotion over the mind, the lower self. So let me know what you guys think.
See how much effort has to go into finding something demonic? Really? Like, they cut it up. She cut it up to the point where it would obviously, mirror into something else. I think it's just trying too hard. I think people are trying too hard to find something in it. I mean, just go out and say, hey, I don't like it. Okay, good. I think it's beautiful. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And it's a shame. Every kind of art piece, people are like, oh, let's tear it apart. Let's turn it into something that it's not because this person is evil for why? I don't know. I think it's great. It's a great painting.
Have you heard of the fifth dimensional beings living on Venus? These beings are called Hathors and were present on the earth in the times of ancient Egypt. According to Drunvalo Melchizedek's Flower of Life books, the Hathors were feminine in nature and were the founders of the ancient mystery schools. Resembling the elves in Lord of the Rings, these beings radiate love and wisdom and are related to dolphins. Like their dolphin cousins, they are skilled in creating sound waves of very high vibration. They would sing notes in unison and give humans transcendental experiences. Their voices were used for initiations, and they could hold notes for hours at a time without taking a breath. In the occult, it is taught that once an individual becomes enlightened beyond the third dimension, that they can live on Venus in the higher dimensions.
You always hear that there's some amount of truth to legend and myth. And I wonder if that's why they say women are from Venus and men are from Mars, because they said that these Venus beings are feminine in nature. I don't know, maybe.
Technology and AI is a bridge and a portal for interdimensional beings to manifest into this reality. See, the digital world is the world between the physical and the spiritual. And it's not new. The digital world has existed for thousands of years. Your phone and your computer is a black mirror. And black mirrors are spiritual. You scry into a black mirror for divination. Black mirrors allow you to communicate with spirits. It can give you guidance and insight into things past, present, and future, which is why your phone can give you access to infinite information. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is that technology is a form of magic. There are crystals and magnets in your phone that manipulate frequency waves and send signals through the air. That's magic, right? Anything that can manipulate the physical world and transmute energy to create a visible change in the light spectrum is magic. If you research Steve Jobs and a lot of these high-level tech guys, a lot of them study metaphysics, even though most of them don't speak about it publicly. Steve Jobs even went to India and studied with yogis and learned about energy and how to access deeper parts of the mind. Now, I'm a tech nerd, and so I know a lot about computer programming and machine learning, and I know how to code. Now, why do you think they call it coding? It's because you're tapping into the heart of the matrix.
Now, that is a theory I've never heard of before. That technology is magic. How interesting, to define it as altering light patterns and frequencies and stuff like that. That's magic. That certainly is interesting.
The Galactic Federation has given humans until 2027 to reveal our presence to the world, or we will. You've probably seen this on the news or in articles talking about CIA agents claiming that humans have until 2027 before they reveal themselves. Former Israeli space chief talking about extraterrestrials exist. And the former defense minister of Canada talking about the Galactic Federation is real and has been watching us for a long time. Let's not forget about the large amount of people claiming they are aliens among the humans. That is because we are, and we are here. We have been on this planet in many different ways. 1, incarnating on your planet and being housed in a human body. 2, government bases or government establishments. 3, underground bases or in orbit. Or number 4, just walking amongst you and you would never know. Many of you have known our presence for a long time and have been trying to awaken others, but you've been labeled as crazy, and I'll tell you right now, you are not. If you are a galactic agent still here, it's time you reveal your presence as well. The clock is ticking because the rest of the star people are going to come in 2027 or sooner, and we've given the Earth governments until then to reveal it themselves. As you could see, they've been struggling. They've been trying to use the media. They've been trying to use subliminal messaging. They've been letting you guys know because they have to. Earth is entering the 4th density, which means that humans are beginning to understand their existence beyond the physical and understand life beyond the physical. For years, humans have called non-terrestrial beings deities, gods, angels, demons, fairies. We have always been here for you. It's time all the chaos ends, all the lies end, all the enslavement ends, all the pain ends. It's time to come home. Don't believe me? Just wait till 2027 and watch what they're telling you guys in every way they can. Because remember, they have to tell you the truth. And we will always be here until the end.
Now, this isn't the first time we've talked about 2027 on this channel. But in the last week, we've talked about how the government peppers little bits of information on us until, the whole country is desensitized or the whole world is desensitized with this little bit of information. And then suddenly the governments come out and they're like, oh yeah, this is real. And we're like, duh, we know. That's what this feels like. They're like, oh yeah, aliens, are present in this capacity. And it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until 2027 or later when the government comes out and goes, oh yeah, by the way, so this is how, deep we are actually with these alien folk, and the whole world's going to go, yeah, we know. But I feel like that might be what this is. And learning about that a little more, every time I get a bit of information, I'm like, it's them sprinkling these little bits of information on us so that when it comes to reality, we're not all super shocked. Right? That's the way it feels anyway. On that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I truly appreciate it. Come on back tomorrow and we will watch different stuff. I'll say other things. It's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.